Hey everyone, Mr. MCA here. This is a lap guide for the new laptop challenge taking place at Road Atlanta with the the X2019 competition. To access the laptop challenge, go over to sport mode, so make sure you have menu book number 9 completed. Click on the online time challenge in the middle of the screen and you'll see the current laptop challenges being held. So this is a 2-week event ending at the end of July 10th, 2024, where your goal is to go within the 3% time range of the world record time when the event ends, as that's when your laptop gets counted and hopefully you get the 2 million credits. Do note that unlike the previous time we did this laptop challenges, we're on the racing soft tires now. But now let's get started with the lap guide, where the first thing I want to mention is that I have traction control at 1 just to try to reduce that little bit of wheel spin without cutting too much of the engine power. And another thing is that when you exit the final chicane, exit on 4th gear, that way you'll have a little more control of your car. And you never want to use 1st or 2nd gear with this car because that's a death sentence. Anyways, this car has a lot of downforce, so the final corner is easily flat out. Turn number 1, you want to bring yourself towards the left, so you're poking 2 wheels past the left side of the line because you want to give yourself a wide opening for this first turn. So you're going to turn in just before the grass on the left starts, and you want to do a small lifting off of throttle. So as you lift off of throttle, the car will turn in a bit more, and you want to try to maintain as much speed as possible. Now this gets incredibly tricky because I'm using this white line as my reference point to start to brake. So I'm braking shortly after I pass it. This is exactly where I start to brake. So this is before the curb on the left even starts. We're not even close to that curb yet. So you're going to use all of your braking power while still turning left and bring yourself down to 4th gear. Use the end of the curb or the end of the sign on the left as your turning point and start to ease off the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. Now you want to be careful with this curb. You can clip a bit of it, but don't clip too much of it because if you get too aggressive with this curb, the car will jump and it'll completely mess you up. Also, avoid touching the grass on the left as that will also mess you up. Quickly get back on the throttle, going flat out through the S's, but once you reach the start of the curb that is on the right, you're going to dip 2 wheels onto the grass on the right as you're going to John Deere this part of the track. So start to brake right here, use all of your braking power and go down to 4th gear. So you're dipping 2 wheels onto the grass as this will give you a better entry for turn number 5 just up ahead. And the end of the curb on the right is your turning point. And if you time it just right, it is possible to ride the curb on the left and get an excellent exit out of turn number 5. So start to ease off the brakes as you're turning in and letting the car coast for just a moment so it can turn in a bit more. And once the car is pointing towards the next section of the track, quickly get back on the throttle. Now use the start of the pavement on the right as your braking point. So in a moment I'll show you exactly where I start to brake, which is right here. So you're braking before the 200 feet board, and actually you're turning in before the 200 feet board as well. Go down to 3rd gear for more rotation, but exit on 4th gear. And as soon as you hit the turn out point from turn number 6 that we just went through, that's where you start to brake for turn number 7. And you're going to go all the way down to 1st gear for more rotation, turning in before the curb on the left ends. But go up to 3rd gear and gradually get back on the throttle. And as soon as your car's pointing straight, that's where you want to fully accelerate your way out. Then you're going to make your way towards the right side of the track because your final braking point is just before the 200 feet board that is on the right. Use all of your braking power and you're going to quickly make your way down to 2nd gear. You'll be turning in before the curb on the right ends, and you will be using the curves to your advantage as they're still within the track limits. As soon as you hit the apex of the first part of the chicane, go up to 4th gear and do a little bit of throttle control to try to keep the rear wheels from spinning out, and stick towards the right to reduce track distance and finish your lap. And let's go through this again, but this time I'm not going to stop the video. And yeah, a lot of things happen in a short amount of time, so you have to be really quick on your feet and, well, or on your hands to try to reduce as much time as possible and make use of everything that you have, especially this car's downforce. So going a bit wide into turn number 1 and doing a little lifting off our throttle, brake just after the white lines, and again just trying to get back on the throttle as quickly as possible. John Deering turn number 5, and yeah, there's a bit of cheesing going on, but that is the faster way to get around this track in this car. And yeah, you also just want to have a lot of confidence with the downforce, because this car does have quite a bit of downforce, so you can carry quite a bit of speed through some of these corners, especially the higher speed corners. And it's kind of like the super formulas where you might think, oh yeah, I cannot carry that much speed through this corner, when in reality you can. You just need to go really fast to make use of the downforce. But anyways, braking before the 200 feet board for the final chicane, exiting on 4th gear, and just trying to be really careful with the throttle input, and take the shorter line to finish your lap. We'll go through this one more time, but this time we're gonna be in bumper cam, so this is for my bumper cam homies, even though I'm not a bumper cam user myself, but yeah, this is for you guys. Anyways, so yeah, again, just trying to carry as much speed as possible through this first sector, as you can carry quite a bit of speed, just a little lifting off our throttle, carry that speed through the first corner, get back on the throttle as quickly as possible for turn number 3 that we just went through, flat out through the S's. John Deere this turn, so braking when the curb on the right started, and yeah, you can carry quite a bit of speed through those corners. So again, you got to be confident with the downforce that this car has. And 3rd gear exit out of turn number 7. Just got to be a little careful with your throttle input as you're starting to straighten out the car. Once the car straightened out, that's where you can fully accelerate your way out. Bring yourself towards the right. Brake just before the 200 feet board on the right. Down to 2nd gear for more rotation, but exit on 4th gear. Be really careful with your throttle input, even if you have traction control on, because this car is a bit of a demon spawn. And yeah, getting a 59, it took a while for me to get to this point, and you know, I'm really happy that I was able to get this time. And hopefully you can break into the 59s as well, because it is a hell of an achievement. And that's going to be it for this lap guide. So I'm going to sign off now. This is Mr. MCA, probably still having the morning voice and a bit of allergies. And I'll see you in the next video.